Hello there. Are your beliefs secretly sabotaging your love life? In this powerful episode of The Love Machine, I'm diving deep with Lonay Halloum, a queer relationship coach and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, to uncover how your subconscious mind could be running the show when it comes to dating and relationships, especially in the LGBTQ plus community. We're going to explore why so many singles feel stuck in toxic patterns, why even confident people can struggle with emotional safety, and how identity, shame, and past experiences influence the partners that we choose. Here is a stat to think about. A recent study found that over 70% of LGBTQ plus individuals report challenges with self-worth in romantic relationships. But there is good news. Once you become aware of your hidden beliefs, you can rewire them and attract love that feels safe, exciting, and real. So whether you're single, dating, or trying to improve your current relationship, this episode will inspire you to stop playing small, ditch the masks, and finally build the emotionally secure love life that you truly deserve. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you for the great intro. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I'm really pleased to have you here too. We had a great initial chat. I know we can talk about lots of different things. So I'm very much aware that today in this podcast, you're going to be doing something quite special towards the end of it. You'll be doing a live exercise. So I'll ask you to explain what that will be so everyone can get excited for that towards the end of the episode. But first of all, can you tell everyone a bit more about yourself and how you got into this?
And yeah, of course. So I'm basically, yeah, like I'm Lonay. And for a long time, so like I struggled with, of course, like accepting who I am and my sexual identity. And yeah, then when I started dating, I realized like I realize it now, but I didn't realize it back then that I was always running after emotionally unavailable men in my life, and that kind of led me to basically starting to like question my belief system and why this is happening to me.
Mm.
And then eventually I entered a relationship, my first one, and like your first relationship, how like for a lot of people, a lot of insecurities come up and
Mm.
surface, and during the breakup afterwards, I realized that the way I'm feeling about the breakup and the way I'm reacting to it it's going deeper than just missing somebody.
Mm.
And that's when I like absolutely felt shattered and destroyed and started digging deeper and reading books and following some people online until I stumbled upon basically RTT, and which is Rapid Transformational Therapy. And that's when I started doing some courses, some therapy sessions, and that's when I started to uncover like surprising or shocking hidden beliefs in my subconscious mind
Mm.
that were leading me to always feeling familiar with running after emotionally unavailable people. And yeah, then also not feeling that I'm worthy enough for ha like to have the love life that I deserve, like a
Mm.
long-lasting relationship. And made me realize that I was actually self-sabotaging my relationship, even like unconsciously, and I was not really recognizing myself during the relationship in certain things that I was doing. And yeah, that's when I stumbled upon RTT and I realized this is what I want to do, because a lot of like for especially like a lot of people in general, but especially for the LGBTQ plus community, like we grow up having this side of us like being suppressed in our puberty and childhood and everything. We notice that we are different, and then we suppress that side of us, and that's makes us like not have an like a healthy emotional development
Mm.
throughout our like formative years. So yeah, that's why this like the statistics you were talking about, that's why it's that high, because of the way we grew up basically, and the beliefs that we soak in basically.
That's true for everybody, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
Regardless of what you're looking for in your backgrounds and sexuality.
exactly.
It's true. So what you're going to teach people is going to be relevant to anyone listening, I'd imagine, overall. So you worked on yourself. Do you manage to heal yourself then? Or is it an ongoing process?
I mean, healing always I mean, personal development is an ongoing
Mm.
process until we die, basically.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, like the work I've done on myself, the therapies I went through, and the insecurities I uncovered,
Hmm.
like it helped me a lot now to connect with people on a deeper level and to really like at least like even the things that I still ha need to work on, now at least I have the tools to be aware, like, okay, this is happening,
Mm.
and this is how I can take responsibility for whatever is going on within
Yeah.
me. And that made it even like much easier to, communicate and to kind of take responsibility for my part of the problem if I stumble upon a problem. And yeah, as
Yeah.
you said, like this is not basically only for LGBTQ people.
Mm.
Everybody struggles with one thing or another. But I like to mainly target the LGBTQ community because it's based also on personal experience.
Of
But of
course.
course, everybody is like everybody goes through something in their childhood or while growing up, or some past experiences that would really affect how they connect to people and how they
Mhm.
and their relationship with themselves, because that's where everything starts.
It really is, and I see that with my own clients all the time. It's how we are, and imagine you must have had it hard yourself to go through the certain things that not everyone has to do. So it's different for you and your clientele, perhaps more difficult than maybe my audience. Although I have my audience is quite big, it's quite general. But let's talk a bit more about the solution for this because it's the RTT here. But you've got your own version of this, haven't you? Your own program that you've developed. So
Yeah.
what exactly is that? And is that what you're going to be doing today?
So my program is called Radiant Heart Transformation,
Hmm.
and it's a 10-week program, and it's like a combination of RTT and like mindfulness, including meditations and so on, as well as coaching, making sure we like I kind of explore all areas or all aspects that could influence the way you connect, first of all, to yourself, and
Mm.
then because we always project outwards. So first, re-establishing a healthy relationship with ourselves, and then the next step would be establishing good connections and deep connections with other people.
Mhm.
Um, and today, basically, I'm going to do like a little guided deep meditation to like just give you a little taste of how this program works, or how I work with the subconscious mind, basically.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to that shortly when you go through. For those that don't know, though, what exactly is RTT?
Yeah, of course. So RTT is Rapid Transformational Therapy. It's a mix of multiple therapy methods
Mhm.
based on hypnotherapy, but yeah, like it's not like the magic shows you see. I know the word hypnosis has a lot of stigma around it, but
Mm.
if you think about like it is basically just if you meditate, it will feel like just like a meditation. And it also has other tools above that to help you kind of uncover the root cause. So we go back to the past, we find the root cause of whatever feeling or belief or anything that you're struggling with that is affecting your current life. And then uh, by uncovering it and gaining this understanding, there are tools to help you let it go and then transform this belief to help you grow in your current life.
Mhm.
And yeah, basically, it's based on hypnotherapy, neuroscience, also CBT, and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming.
Mm.
And the main or like the science behind it is that each thought or belief that we have in our minds has like a neural pathway, and our brain kind of process life events through these neural pathways.
Mhm.
And by creating a new, like, so for each one thought to become persistent and constant or permanent in our minds, like they're like, as we say, the mind learns by repetition. So we need to like first of all uncover the root cause so we can gain understanding of the old belief system. And after letting it go, we repeat a certain kind of, I call it the transformation recording over a certain period of time.
Hmm.
And that's only when we have this new belief installed in the mind and have it, have it help us to process life events through it and kind of ditch the old neural pathway.
Incredibly useful. Now, I know about this myself. I've studied a bit of RTT. I've got the courses and the downloads, and I started to do this. I didn't finish them, but our call the other day reminded me to continue and finish that. But that
Yes.
does bring me on to the next question, the next topic, though, which is self-sabotage, isn't it? I'm not saying that I self-sabotage myself by not completing it, but it's so easy in life. You touched upon it at the start of self-sabotage. I see that a lot with my clients. Clients know what they should be doing, but they have this beliefs and they can't get through it. They can't burst through that self-sabotage. What advice do you have for people that are struggling with self-sabotage?
Um, First of all, it's really hard to know whether you're actually self-sabotaging or not.
Yeah.
Because it comes very hidden. It comes through like procrastination or
Mm.
making excuses why you cannot do this or that. Um, the first step to really know whether you're self-sabotaging or not is being aware, like just kind
Mm.
of sitting with yourself, analyzing what's going on, how you're feeling, and being really honest with yourself. Like if you're about to do something and you're not gonna do it, or you don't want to do it, and you're trying to find excuses why, just sit with yourself, be honest, and kind of bring awareness to that, like how I'm feeling.
Mm.
Do I really believe I can get this or not? And then third of all, if it feels like that there's no specific reason, most likely, or if you're unaware to know why, most likely it is self-sabotage. And um, the way to really like uncover and kind of try to always make sure that it's not affecting your life is, yeah, just awareness, the first step. And sometimes awareness itself, like when we really realize something like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this thing because I don't believe enough in myself. Sometimes that's enough to let it go, and sometimes it needs deeper work, and that's when it's definitely important to seek help and support.
That's a very valid point that it's not always self-sabotage, is it? Sometimes we are protecting ourselves for the right reasons as well. Saying, well, I'm not going to go on that date today because I'm too tired or I don't really feel well. That's not self-sabotage necessarily. If you are
Yeah.
faking it and you're going through the motions, then fair enough. But if you just are genuinely ill and tired, then going on the date isn't the right thing to do. And it is protecting ourselves. And I think so much of this does come into protecting ourselves and building this wall up around ourselves to stop getting rejected and being hurt. And I see this with virtually all my clients. They've built this wall up to stop themselves being hurt and to protect themselves. Do you see that with your clients too?
Yeah, of course. I mean, especially if they had some past trauma or
Yeah.
something like that, then yeah, like there are a lot of defense mechanisms.
Mm.
And yeah, then this is like, I would still consider this self-sabotage, not in the like in the way that is like you are stopping yourself from finding the love that you truly deserve.
Mm.
And yeah, of course it is to protect ourselves because of past trauma, and you should not blame yourself for that. Like, but when I say self-sabotage in all of its forms, nobody should blame themselves for that, because we didn't choose to be this way. Like we get this either from our childhood or a past experience, but it is good to be aware of it or try to be aware of it so that you can start working on it and then really like experience the full spectrum of emotions that we should feel.
Absolutely. It's important to remember that. But a lot of people do repeat the same experience over and over again, particularly toxic relationships. They will relive it, even though they know they want something different and it's not their fault that they've had them. Do you find that people do repeat the same things? And what's the reason behind that?
I mean, we like the human being is a like we are creatures of habit, right? So, whenever we find something that works or that is familiar, we always repeat it. So, yeah, of course. So, the thing is, the mind always goes towards what's familiar and goes away from like what's unfamiliar. And
Mm.
even if the familiar thing is bad for us, we still repeat it because we know what's there. And yeah, that's like we all do have repeating patterns, whether it's good or not good. And mainly in our connections to like other people, we try to repeat the same connections, the same patterns that we had in our childhood. So if we had like an absent parent or emotionally unavailable parent, we're
Mm.
more likely than not to try to kind of repeat that pattern in our romantic lives, but then hoping for a different result. Like that's why because we try to kind of heal our past wounds by repeating the same scenarios and then
Mm.
trying to make it like make the ending different. But that's not how it
Yeah.
works. We have to really change the inner narrative and then stop chasing old patterns and hoping that the end will be different.
Yeah, you talked earlier on about firing up neural pathways, and that's what this is. It's creating new visions for the future and new beliefs and new activities, isn't it? That's what it's about. Because if you don't,
Exactly, yeah.
if you've not experienced that, then how else are you going to know? How can you envision it? So imagine part of your coaching is teaching people how to live that and how to think in a new way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There will be a lot of emotional work, a lot of
Yeah.
coaching, yeah, to help like not only so like we all have to work in the with the past, the present and the
Yeah.
future to gain like the full picture of what's going on.
Hmm.
And yeah, of course, so the first step is always understanding. Without understanding, we cannot fix anything. Like now, if somebody gives you something you don't understand at all, like let's say a coding problem, but you're not a programmer, how would you really try to fix what's going on if you don't know how to code or don't understand how things work? And that's the exact same way. First step is awareness, and then the second one is understanding.
And then what? Once you understand you're aware of this, how do you really begin to start to reform things quickly anyway? Because I know that you've got the rapid way of doing this, but beyond that, what could you do? If imagine someone's having a really bad day today
Yeah.
and they want to reframe that, what advice would you give them? Anyone listening right now who's having a bit of a naughty day, should we say? Someone that isn't really enjoying themselves and not making the best of it, but they haven't really got time to start doing exercises, but they want to fix it quickly. What
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
So first of all, awareness as
Yeah.
like the first step. So first we need to
Hmm.
acknowledge, okay, this is what I'm feeling today. I'm having a bad day, and then acknowledging that it's okay to have a bad day and it's okay to be sad. So the second thing would be not to run away from our emotions, even if they're negative. We have to sit in our emotions
Hmm.
because otherwise they will be bottled up, and anything that bottles up, that is bottled up, will come out in maybe a physical form, like an illness or something like that. And then after the second thing, which is like sitting in our own emotions and accepting, embracing that we're feeling and having a bad day, that will already alleviate a lot of the pressure of like having to feel good again. That will already make us feel better again automatically. And then afterwards, just like I always have, like, because the mind, whenever we need to express or like create an output for our thoughts, whether it's verbally or in writing, then the mind is forced to create a logical sequence of thoughts. That's how the brain works.
Hmm.
So I always advise people to either say it out loud, even if it's to yourself or to another person, or write it down, like what your like your thoughts, your feelings, why you feel that, and even if you don't know why, like maybe some like possible whys about
Hmm.
like your feelings and emotions, and that will already help you like clear your mind. And because your mind is forced to create a logical sequence of thoughts, you might even find the solution by just, writing it down or saying it out loud. So that's like these three steps will already make your day a lot better.
Great answers. And something else you said just now, maybe you can talk to someone else that you know. Maybe you've got a partner you can talk to about this. And that is, and the secret of happy relationships is communication, isn't it? How can
Exactly.
you best support your partner or someone you started to date or get into a relationship with who is struggling with all this without maybe dominating them or trying to persuade them to fit into what you want?
So, yeah, basically kindness goes a long way always, whether with ourselves or with others. So, yeah, that's first. And if your partner is struggling with communication, try to first of all make a safe space for them to talk. Um, it's always difficult to like the thing is if the person is unaware of what's going on with themselves or not willing to be aware of what's going on with themselves, it's always hard to kind of lead them to that conclusion, like, oh, I need help or I need support in that. But yeah, just trying to understand their perspective and where they're coming from. And sometimes, yeah, just like trying to um, be aware of what might be the problem and keeping like a safe space for them to communicate and reacting in with kindness sometimes will already help a lot to bring awareness to what they're doing because sometimes like if we just fight endlessly then it doesn't really help, like it will just make the problem worse.
Mm.
um and I would say maybe gently give suggestions. Like suggestions are always good, not in a gaslighting way,
Yeah.
but just suggestion like maybe we listen together to this podcast or listen or watch something. Just like gentle suggestions, indirect suggestions. Maybe also I would always like advise couples to have at least 1 day per week, which is like kind of a date night, but it's about mindfulness and awareness. So, kind of recapping the whole week, how we felt, what thoughts that were challenging, and share that with each other, being vulnerable. That like I call it like the hour of vulnerability. It can be more than an hour, but I just call it that like that. Just kind of to make it a safe space, like, okay, this 1 hour we can share anything we want. There will be no judgment, and anything that we feel like we need to work on, then um, we can start like having first steps of like, okay, what do you need, what I need, and then writing it down and having a system. And maybe one day would like is not enough, and then if there's anything that is left, but you still feel very exhausted, and maybe for one of you would be very tough to really open up, then you can do it the next week and then the next week, and it will be like a like work in progress. It might take some time, but yeah, kindness and patience with each other go a long way, basically.
Great answers there. Thank you very much. Very, very useful.
Of
You
course.
talked quite a bit about safe spaces. So I think now is a good time to go into a safe space and to do your guided exercise, if that's okay. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would love to offer a short guided experience right now. Something that gives you a little taste of the inner shifts we make in my Radiant Hearts transformation program.
Mhm.
So if you're listening and it's safe to do so, follow along, please.
Excellent. Before you start, I'm going to mute myself on the microphone. I'm going to
Sure.
close my eyes and do it along with you. So if you bring me back at the end, that would be great. Otherwise, I may be so relaxed and fall asleep, which has not happened yet, but it could do because you've got a very relaxing voice. Right, let's
Okay,
go
thank
for it.
you.
I'll let you take control.
All right. So just make yourself comfortable with your hands on your lap, not quite touching, and just look up as high as you possibly can. With your eyes open, just look up as if you're trying to look into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead. Just breathe in and breathe out. Take another deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. And just one final time, breathe in, keeping your eyes right up, keeping your eyeballs right up as you exhale. Just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. As your eyelids shut down, the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. Your eyelids are starting to feel right now as if they have been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. So I want you to just let your eyes go wherever they want to go and drop your chin just a fraction so you really feel that looking down sensation that you might feel as you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. And as I count backwards, You're going to see your feet, hear your feet, feel your feet treading each step right now. You're looking down 10 steps. You're moving on to step number 10. As each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9. You can see your feet making contact with every step as you go deeper. You're taking step 8. You can hear your feet making contact with each step as you go deeper. You're taking step 7 and step 6 as each sound and noise and movement around you carries you deeper and further into sleep. You're taking steps 5 and 4. Each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you're going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 3. You're going deeper into your own internal state. You're taking step 2, go deeper. You're taking step 1, just go deeper, drift deeper, and relax deeply. And now let yourself land here in your body in this moment. With every breath, allow yourself to soften. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just you being here with you. Now imagine a light above your head, a soft, warm, radiant light. As it gently begins to pour down over your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders. Notice how it brings calm, clarity, and ease. The light is not just warmth, it's wisdom. And it begins to melt away everything that's not serving you. The pressure to be perfect, the belief that you have to earn your worth, the noise of comparison. As this light moves through you, you start to remember. You were never broken. You've always been enough. Now, place one hand over your heart and take a breath into it. And as you do, I want you to imagine you're connecting with a wiser part of yourself, a version of you who has already healed, already grown, already claimed the love and life that you want. This version of you says, you are safe now. You're allowed to relax. You are allowed to be loved. You're allowed to receive. You are enough. You don't have to keep trying so hard. You don't have to carry the old stories that you're too much or not enough or that it's too late for you. Because those stories are not your truth. They were coping mechanisms, not life sentences. Take a moment now and let this version of you, this powerful, whole, magnetic self whisper, let it whisper something to you, something you need to hear. And now repeat silently in your mind, I am safe to let go of the old story. I am rewriting my story now. I am love. I am enough. I am already becoming who I came here to be. Let that settle in your nervous system. Anchor it in your body. Feel it become your new truth. Take one more deep breath in and slowly exhale. And now I will count upwards to bring you back to your full awareness. On the count of one, feel relaxed and calm. On the count of two and three, bring back your awareness to your room and to your body. On the count of four, you feel lighter, clearer, more relaxed. On the count of five, open up your eyes and come back to your full awareness. Welcome back.
I can't speak now. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Very, very beneficial. Very, very relaxing. When you were doing that, reminded me when I was listening to the course originally and some of the language patterns, they sort of developed into your own version of it. Because obviously you've worked on it. So I recognize that. So I can tell you it's good. Brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah, like I started to find my own voice also into the program.
Yeah. Well, I can recognize it, so I can give you the credit for that. There you go. Someone
Thank you.
that
Yeah.
knows what's going on. Very, very useful. Hopefully, people will play that back and they can get a little taste themselves, and then they'll be able to come to you directly. And in a
Of course.
second, to sort of round off the episode, you can tell everyone about your links, and I'll put them into the show notes as well. But one last question that I ask everybody,
Yeah.
and you know what's coming. I ask everyone this question in advance. Any regular listeners will know that the question is: do you have any daily habits or routines?
Definitely. I meditate every day.
Hmm.
Like when I wake up, the first thing I do is just like meditate for 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, then I try also to take a walk by myself every day after dinner and
Brilliant.
just kind of recap the day. If there's something that was bothering me, to I actually speak to myself.
Okay. Yeah.
So just like talk it out loud, sort out my thoughts because I don't like writing, so I choose to speak it out loud and yeah, sort out my thoughts and then yeah, just like anything that is confusing or I need to discuss and I need to yeah, like bring back to my awareness if the day was busy, then I that's like the way I do it because I like to go to bed having a clear head most of the days.
Very wise. I think I speak to myself sometimes as well, but maybe not walking down the street. I will do it. I'll give myself a pep talk sometimes out loud. It's very beneficial. We all learn and understand in different ways, don't we? So I think a whole mix of things. But thank you so much for that. Absolutely fantastic. Now, if someone wants to find out more about you and what you do to help them, how do they do that?
Yeah, of course. So on my website, which is like rainbowjourney.co, so .co, and then there's also like a big button to book a call. We can then it's like a free call. We can just explore. We can learn more about each other, and then see how we can proceed together. Yeah. So.
And did you say you got a freebie for the listeners as well?
Yeah, so because I would like to, have some people experience this on a deeper level. So I'm offering 3 free sessions for 3 different people. Just tell me that you came through this podcast, and I will know, okay, you're number one, and then the second and then third. Maybe I offer more if I realize there's like more demand for that. And yeah.
Amazing, because the podcast will be out there forever, so that won't last very long. I imagine the free sessions. Anyone that wants to snap it up quickly, get in there, because if you're listening to this 6 months in the future or 6 years in the future, I imagine you'd be retired on the desert island with all your experience. Thank you so much. Brilliant, a gift for anyone listening that sees it
Of
right
course.
now. Don't sabotage yourself and just go and do it. But thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to talk to you. Hopefully this is the start of us doing more things together, and we can talk about that another time. But have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just can I add one more advice?
Yeah.
Just when you talk to yourself, because our internal talk is what basically matters a lot to establish a good connection with ourselves. So when you
Mhm.
talk to yourself, just imagine you're talking to your best friend. And if something that would hurt your best friend or make them go away, just don't say it also to yourself. Because yeah, then yourself would not like you.
I agree. It's very easy to complain to ourselves and say, you're stupid, you're an idiot. That's why I do the pep talks. I say, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're James Preece. Do it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it
Yeah,
does work. And I do say that sometimes if I'm talking myself up for something. Great advice there, Lonay. Thank you so much.
of course.
And great. I hope we get to talk again very soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you very much.
Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to give you a free copy of my latest book, which you can download right now from my website, jamespreece.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could share the love by taking a few seconds to write a positive review on the iTunes store right now. See you next time.